Hello all the crazy people out there, my name is Dragonite, welcome back to Golden Sun Dark Dawn. I think we are mostly finished. I did something that looked an awful lot like the final boss in the last video, and I see I've got some genie respawning in my possession. We are back in Belinsk, and I believe at the end of the last video, we saw a bit of a cutscene involving my party having a little discussion about where the rest of my party is. I do not remember where the rest of my party is. I guess I might as well just run around, see if we can find anything. We are indeed back in Belinsk. We haven't been here in quite a while. I can't get into the Opera House, apparently. Let's see. I'm still sad that I forgot to do that little, apparently there was a, I forget if it was a mini-boss or some side content or side quest or something in the Opera House that I apparently could do, right before we shoved off, and then I just shoved off, and then that was the end of it. But, can't get up there. I need stairs. Oh well. I'm not dead set on doing 100% in this game or anything. I just like to see as much of it as I can without, like, pulling teeth. And I guess we'll let that stay as it is. Was there anything else in Belinsk that I thought that maybe I could do? I think, the under Belinsk, the catacombs or the ruins or whatever they were, I feel like was a pretty big deal. Is there going to be a cutscene? There is. Anyway, the catacombs are obviously, like, covered by story stuff, and I don't think there was anything else. At least nothing that was huge that stood out to my mind. Anyway, Karis, where is everyone? Looking at it one more time, I guess Belinsk isn't such a bad place. Aeolio! I assume that's his hair and ponytail anyway. Seeing you off! Amity, I waited as long as I could. Reef, Himi. Where's Sveta? She's probably stuck doing important stuff or something. I assume we'll be leaving soon as well, Michael. Yeah, Kraden, whatever. I will think of you often. There she is. We'll see each other again, right? Of course. We're all young except for Kraden, and he doesn't age. Kraden's given up trying to explain the nuances. Thanks for all you've done for us, Michael. Vande, you're one of the musicians, right? Yeah, you're the musicians. You saved us all! You're leaving? Alright. This is a bit of a send-off. You guys are my heroes. I'm sure we will be. Or will we be? I don't know. Again, I know that there's a couple of, like, super bosses and stuff in this game, and that's probably what I'm going to spend the rest of this Let's Play doing, but I don't know if I actually have to go back to Belinsk for anything. I made it through all the dangers. Yes, I did somehow. Alright. We'll play for you anytime. Can I, like, go back into the city and talk to the musicians and they'll play that, that song again? Whatever it was called. I can't remember. It had a funny name. Alright. So, let's see. Oh, there was one more thing, and by this point I assume it's nothing, but on the... if I go west from Belinsk, there was that drawbridge town, and I don't think I ever was able to cross that drawbridge to get somewhere more important, right? Because we obviously didn't have to do that for any story thing aside from talking to the musician, and we're deciding what we'll be doing with ourselves after this, now that the great evil has been vanquished or whatever. But I will just go and I will just go and head back to that drawbridge just to see if there's anything else. All right. And we're gonna set off. Oh, is that gonna be the credits? Alright, I'm gonna hold off on the credits until I'm actually done with this Let's Play. Yeah. It's good to be back! Nice to see the good old cabin again, eh, Michael? What's wrong? Aren't you happy to be home? What? Look over there! The end? Yeah, the post-credits sequence in this game sequel bait's hard. And, unfortunately, much to my disappointment... Yeah, I think we can save. Much to my disappointment, we have yet to actually get a sequel. And I've got some thoughts on that. I'll say that to the very end of this Let's Play, I think. We've reached the end of Golden Sun Dark Dawn. When you load this file, you'll be in Titanfall at the point just before your final battle at the Apollo Lens. You can now sail the eclipsed world, searching for the remaining secrets. So there are... Again, there are a few, like, extreme endgame super boss sorts of things that I am aware of. I do not have a list. I know I've seen a list. So I'm gonna go and load this game from the Sanctum in Titanfall. And if I were to go and put the map back on my screen, look at the atlas. Okay, nothing is visibly changed on the atlas, but let me go and see if I can go about finding some of those extreme late game things that I mentioned. By the way, there is a ladder going up onto this roof. I remember that on, I think, the other side of the staircase, I was not able to figure out how to acquire a genie, and like this guy over here, I remember speculating that if I were to let's go and Sveta, read your mind with Spirit Sense. I remember speculating that if I did some sort of side quest with this guy, then I'd be able to like make all these boxes move, climb a ladder, and get onto the roof or something, but I still don't know how to do that. And I haven't looked it up, and I don't want to unless absolutely necessary. I don't know if I just have to go and, like, slap some Ferrymen a week or something like that. Let's see what would happen if I go... Was it that guy who looked like he might have just actually been asleep on the other side here? You're definitely asleep. Can I talk to you? Alright, firstly, let's see what's going on here. Can't Spirit Sense you. If I were to go and reveal on this ledge here, would I be able to, like... Well, if I use Insight here, that is the slap icon, and I don't think I can, like, approach you. I was going to, and I don't think I actually got as far to say this, I was going to make a joke about slapping the old guy. But it seems that, far be it from that actually being a joke, that actually seems to be what I have to do here. Can I reach you? No? Am I gonna have to find... Oh, that is the ferry. Okay, I wasn't sure what that was. That was just like a tent or something, but I think that's a ferry. Okay, I think I can jump on this block if I go up and around. Let's see how I can get there. All right, I think I can. Yeah, that's how we're gonna do this. We're gonna go jump on that roof. We're gonna climb over that roof. We can now stand on this block, and now we'll be on the same vertical axis as this guy. And I think I should be able to just go and slap you. Uh-oh, it's already time to get the ferry moving. And he's gonna take off. Amazing. Alright, so now, if I were to go back to that guy with all the cargo... Can I jump on here? I can. Oh, I can just use that as a bridge? That's neat. Hello, Mars Genie. That was an interesting little puzzle. Alright, that's Tinder. That's another one of the revival ones, I think? Yeah, that's a revival one. Alright, and now if I were to just, like, drop back down to the level with that guy, would I be able to talk to him? And will he be happy? I'm guessing he won't be happy. That's not what I meant to talk to. What do you mean, a few trips? You expect me to spend all my profit on your shipping fees? Never! You hear me? Never! Alright, so now we've got a different debate raging here. I know I'm a boat, and that much cargo would sink it in a second. We'll have to make a few trips. Alright. So that felt productive. I think I'm going to exit Titanfall back onto the overworld, and we'll see exactly what we can do here. Let's see. My ship is going to be this one, right? Yeah, this is the pirate ship. Is it time to go? Yes, I think it is. And we're going to set sail. Are those icebergs and stuff gone? Those icebergs and stuff are not gone. The eclipse area is still here, which sucks. I'm going to go. Give me a moment, and I'm gonna find a list of the super bosses and stuff. Alright, the list I've got says that there's a couple of them, and if I were to go to Burning Isle Cave, which I think was one of the later areas. Here we go. That's gonna be on that volcano down south. Alright, that was one of the places where we found bits of the Umber gear, and I think we're going to go down there, and I have the Soul Blade, do I not? Because apparently there is a keyhole that is suspiciously Soul Blade shaped, and yes, here we go. And if I were to, you know, activate the lock with the Soul Blade, we'll be able to do something, I'm sure. I don't know. I'm not going to look up a straight-up guide. I'm not going to look up a map or anything, so I don't know exactly where in Burning Isle Cave I have to go. I just know that if I go there, there's something for me. So if, alright, waterfall. Let's try not to sail off the edge of the world. The entrance to the island, I believe, was on the east side, if I'm remembering this correctly. By the way, what level am I? I was level 46 when I went into the final boss. I appear to be 46 now. Alright. I wasn't sure if I literally, like, respawned at the point in the story before we fought the final boss, or, well, before we went up to the Apollo Sanctum. Because I did gain a bunch of levels in there, because everything in there was giving me, like, an absolutely insane amount of experience. Or if, like, we're picking up... We basically teleported back to Titanfall with all the levels and equipment and gold and everything else that we had in tow. Let me see. If I were to go... Oh, you know what? When I left off at the end of, basically, when the credits rolled, it had, like, 59,000 something money. And if I can see exactly how much money I have now... Alright, 6586. So that's... Yeah. So we'll have retained everything that we gained up on the Apollo Sanctum, when we did the, when we reloaded the save. So this is the Burning Isle Cave. Burning Island Cave. And if I can figure out exactly where I want to go... Let's see. Do I want to wander around aimlessly? Or do I want to just cut away until I find what I'm looking for? Was there something to do with, Aeolio's power, here? Aeolio, thermal? Oh, right. There's the vaulting mechanic there that I have to use grip with. Forgot about that. That one took me a minute to remember. Okay, there's this sealed door. Is this a sealed door that I have to smack with the Soul Blade or something like that? If I can figure out how to get there. Alright, I think that was it. So we got here. Should I stab it? A sword-sized keyhole. Wow. I was kind of joking when I said using the sword as a key, but I think that's actually where we're going with this. Alright. So, the Soul Blade. Yeah, apparently that works in a few different places in this game now. I can stab the keyhole. So if we go in here, alright. Big red tablet. I think this is going to be my signal to de-equip all of my genie, except for like the couple that are especially good to have in a boss fight. Alright, let's start with those. So we're gonna go walk up to this thing and see what this big red tablet has for us. That is a big axe. The blade of that axe is bigger than I am. I'm the Guardian of the Fire. If you want more power, show me how much you already have. Okay. That sounds like a boss fight. Let's get into a boss fight. Ogre Titan 1 appeared. So let's go and... what genie do I have that I want to use? Boost resistance. Sure, let's boost resistance. Karis, boost defense. Alright, let's boost defense as well. Tyrell over here. Send the damage the party takes to the void. I don't remember what that does, but I left it on, like, active on Tyrell just because it sounds like another damage reduction move. I will not use that yet. I will have Tyrell go and summon. Meteor is probably not really going to do all that much. Let's use Eclipse. And Reef over here, because I just left my party order as, like, the default when I resumed the New Game Plus or whatever. Alright, so that's going to be another one. That's going to be, Reef is also going to be one who I don't really want to act right now. So we're going to use Eclipse again, and that's going to do 2 double dragons to the sky. Buckle is going to increase my defense. That's great. Eclipse is going to be the giant sky dragon. I think we can skip this animation because I've used it a bunch of times. Not very effective. Interesting. Ouch. Alright, so we'll use Eclipse again, and that's also not going to be very effective. I'm going to assume that this means that Mercury and Jupiter are both not very effective here. Alright, so we're going to use Mellow, increase the resistance, and you are going to summon Ogre Titan 2. Yay. Should I summon Meteor, Boreas, Judgment? I'm gonna summon Judgment. Karis, do you have a healing move? I feel like Karis should have a healing move. Karis apparently does not have a healing move. Do you have a healing item? Alright, you have a healing item. I think it's finally actually time to use a vial. Tyrell, what other genie did I maybe want to use? Send the damage the party takes to the void. Sounds good to me. And Reef can go and use his Aurora over here, and that's going to speed recovery a little bit. So that's going to be some damage shield. And Karis is going to be healed. Very good. You're going to give everybody a free turn of Genie recovery. And we'll see how much Judgment does to you. Does to either of these. Oh, these are color-coded, aren't they? So that one there is red. This one over... the one who came out first is yellow. Which tells me, like... Ow. Venus, right? Am I getting this? I feel like I should know how this game works by this point, but I'm still being... I still feel like this is a surprise to me. So let's go and skip that animation because we have also seen it a bunch of times. Neutral hit on Ogre Titan 1. Neutral hit on Ogre Titan 2. Okay. Are you going to summon another one? Is there gonna be a pack of these? I didn't look up any information. Alright, that's a blue one. I didn't look up any information about this boss fight, aside from the fact that, like, there was one down here. Wow. Alright, I've got a lot of Fire Genie ready to go. Maybe I should use one of those. Lull a foe to sleep. I feel like that's not going to work very well on a boss. We can try that, though. What about... We can summon Boreas. I'll have Reef do that. Alright. How about, Karis, while your useful Genie are still in recovery, let's go and just use another vial. Tyrell, I'm going to have summon Meteor. Probably in that direction. And Reef is going to summon Boreas, focused on the red one. Alright. So the first Ogre wasn't that scary, but I get the feeling that if you're not able to take them out quickly, and if you have to fight all 4 of them on the field at the same time, then that's when it's going to start to kind of suck. Alright, Ogre Titan 2 took 647, Ogre Titan 3, alright, so these are all neutral hits so far, except for Eclipse, which was a not very effective hit. So, I'm guessing the type effectiveness, but I seem to not be, like, getting it. Also, you didn't die on that one, which meant that both of you were allowed to hit me with your big screw-off axes, which I don't really appreciate. Let's go and drop a Meteor on you. Alright, that one was super effective on both. Is fire really going to be the super effective type on these? I've got enough Genie for another Meteor. So that is an option. Let's see, do I have a healing Genie? No, Delude, don't think that's really what I'm looking for. Don't think I'm going to be able to put you to sleep either. Restore at least 200 HP. Karis can have that. I thought I had... Alright, recover party HP with the stream of life. That's a lot better. I thought I had more of those, but maybe they're on my backup party and not, like, out on the field right now. Could be. Tyrell is going to drop another meteor, as we discussed. And Reef... Restore HP with priority. I feel like I should use that. I don't know. I used the nut on Karis. Let's give that to me just in case the genie doesn't recover everyone's HP all at once. So that's going to... Karis is going to get to use Surge first. That's good. We're in pretty good shape now. You're going to use the big screw-up axe, and that's going to do a little less damage now that I have Genie and I have higher stats all around, and I died. Never mind. Alright, let's go summon Meteor. And that's going to be a second Meteor Destruction raining from the heaven that took down the second Ogre Titan. The third Ogre Titan took a lot of damage. And are you going to summon a friend? You are going to summon a friend. I see they're getting, like, visually bigger as we continue, too. Which I'm going to assume means that your attack is also going up. Let's see. Do I have a revival synergy or Genie? Please? Alright, damage shield. I like the damage shield. Tyrell probably doesn't have any revival synergies. Alright, may revive a downed ally. Not a guarantee, but it's a step in the right direction. And Flint, this is like the very first Genie in the game. He's probably not going to do a lot, but we'll just see if we can use that to do a little bit of damage to that last Ogre Titan. Because I know that last Ogre Titan took a lot of damage. And I'm guessing you probably are pretty close to being dead right now. 15. Yeah, that was like nothing. But, love that damage shield. It was worth a try. We'll maybe summon you later or something like that. So Jolt is going to succeed. Alright. Like it when Jolt succeeds. Bunch of Genie are being restored after that last round. And, let's see. Boost resistance. See, resistance doesn't seem to matter when you're just hitting me with axes. I think I'm going to switch me out. We'll bring in... We'll bring Aeolio, because Aeolio has probably got a bunch of Fire Genie, and Meteor is... Yeah, Meteor is probably the weapon of choice here. I guess I might as well try Judgment just to see if that does anything on the last one. Karis... Got a little bit of healing there. Actually, I'll have Karis use a Genie instead for that. Yeah. Alright. Because being able to summon Genie, that's how this game works here. Don't have anything for Tyrell to do, so Tyrell will use Meteor. And I'll focus it on the big guy. And is there anything else I want Reef to do? I feel like there's not much that I really want Reef to do. Okay. So Garland is going to restore Karis' HP. Vortex is going to do even less damage than Flint did. I think that was another early game one. You're going to take the big screw-up axe to the face. You are going to use the big screw-up axe on Karis' face. Made it through that one, and Judgment is going to... let's see if this is going to do any better than it did the last time. Alright, neutral hits. 1,000 damage on Ogre Titan 4, which is pretty good. Meteor, is this going to continue being super effective? It is going to continue being super effective. 1,000 damage on Ogre Titan 3, 2.25 thousand damage on Ogre Titan 4. Neither of you are dead yet, which is honestly kind of impressive. The fact that neither of you are dead yet. So, Aeolio doesn't have anyone ready to go. I'll try and... Is Aeolio going to be slower? I'll have Aeolio use one of his regular synergy, I think. So if Searing Beam, I like that animation. We'll keep using Searing Beam. I'm looking for fire type ones. If I don't have any fire type ones, all right, maybe we'll switch out Karis too then. Who has fire type synergy? Fire type Genie. Let's I don't know, maybe Himi? I'm just guessing here. Alright, Himi did bring along a couple of fire type Genie, and I think we can Is it worth using a buffing move? Oh, she has a healing move. I'll use a healing move on Tyrell. Tyrell, speaking of which, he can go and use Meteor, because I like Meteor. And Reef over here, who did you get back in the last round? Aurora's ready to go. Okay. Where are all my Fire-type Genie? I don't know. Were they attached to the characters who I switched out, and they are now in cooldown? Is that how this is working? I can't remember. Whatever. Let's drop your resistance. Maybe you'll take a little more damage from Meteor. I probably should have used that on the big one. But never mind. So you're going to use the biggest screw-up axe on Reef. Ogre Titan 3, please don't target Reef. You targeted Aelio. Fine. We can take that. Claw is going to do not very much. It is going to drop your resistance by a decent amount. Searing Beam. Let's see what Searing Beam does. So that's going to do 200 damage. Ogre Titan 3. Ogre Titan 3 is dead. And I have to imagine that Ogre Titan 4, after taking 2,258 damage in the last round, is going to not exactly be in tip-top condition either. Alright, that actually did less damage than it did the last time, but it still did a lot. I'm still not going to complain about that. Alright. So, okay, Ogre Titan 5, hello. You are barely fitting on my... That has to be the last one, right? There's no way there's another one after this. Because, like, if there's another one after this, it would not fit on my screen. Entangle a foe so that each ally can attack. Let's have that guy go last. Because I just feel like trying to get rid of like as much Ogre Titan as I can before you get to go is just generally going to be a good idea. Alright, Slaying Dragon. That's a cool move. I don't think I've seen this one yet. This one doesn't look familiar. Conjure a dragon's image to annihilate foes. That's not a fire-type move, but I'm going to use it anyway just because it sounds cool. Alright, I really need to swap my Genie around after this just so that I know who everybody has. These three are fire-type. Start unleashing those. Restore party HP. Okay. That's not a dragon. That's like a dog. I mean, it's still cute, but it's not a dragon. Ooh, alright. That one... Sorry, Reef. You did your best. Sorry, Himi. Okay. That was for mostly full health, too. Boy, you got a couple of turns in that one. Let's see. So, I think I'm going to have to switch out some dead bodies. Who have I got? Amidi hasn't gotten a chance to fight yet. Amidi did not bring in any Genie to use, but any fire-type Genie to use, but we've got a bunch of Thunder ones. Let's see. Boost counterattack rate. Alright, Aeolia has a Water of Life. I'm going to use that on Reef because I think Reef has some revival type Genie, which I'd like to use, assuming I live that long. Who else? Tyrell does not. I mean, Amidi does not. I think we'll have Amidi go and heal Aeolio. Tyrell... Usually revive it. Okay. No! Wait, that was redundant, because the Water of Life, unless Aeolio dies, or unless Tyrell dies, okay. That was a dodge. That was pretty good. So we're gonna at least get Reef back from that. Wow. Alright, so that's a solid one-hit KO on, I think, basically my entire team when you do that. I'm gonna have Aeolio summon someone just so that hopefully that last one goes down there. And I'm gonna have Reef summon someone so that hopefully that last one goes down. You're fast, too. Alright, you can one-hit KO Aeolio, which is good. Please take down Ogre Titan 4. Not very effective, but it did well over 1,000 damage to both. Alright, felled Ogre Titan 4. That helps. Do not want to see anyone else. Please let that be the last one. Alright, that is the last one. Let me see. Now we can actually see about putting things back together, shall we? Yeah, something tells me that's not really going to help. I'm going to switch out Aeolio for... Who has a revival move? I think I have a revival move. I do have revive. Okay. A meaty. We're gonna do that. Anyone else have a revival genie? No, but that sounds like a good one to use. Speed recovery rate. I'm gonna use Coral here. Never mind. Well, I can summon Kotlikil, which is the only, like, healing summon in the game. I don't remember if that's going to revive everybody who needs reviving or not. I hope it does. And who else is left to summon? Atlantana. Alright, well, we're gonna start speeding genie recovery rates. So you're gonna use Brute Force. Don't kill Sveta, you killed Sveta. This is kind of bad. Is there anyone else? Who else do I have? Alright, Aeolio is barely alive. Alright, Karis is... Let's switch out Aeolio for... Tyrell. And Karis is pretty fast. I think if anyone on my team has a chance of going first, it'll be her. So let's summon Kotlikil. Can I not? Oh, I can't. Because when Reef was killed, his genie were removed from the pool of genie that I can use for summons. Alright, I'm backed into a corner. I'm just going to use Judgment twice, and I'm going to hope that that's enough to take you down. I don't think it will be. I expect I'll have to come back and fight you again. No? And that's game. Alright. So... I've got a pretty good idea of what I've got to do. And that's going to start with reviving my whole team. Alright. It is going to be down to Ogre Titan 4 and soon 5. And I think we're a little better off than we were last time. This battle certainly went faster this time than it did last time. I've only got one, maybe two dead party members. I think 2 dead party members. Let's see. So we are going to set a couple of genie to people that they can do things with. I want to say, yeah, here comes the big bad. I want to say Tyrell is going to be able to use Jolt on me, and maybe it'll succeed this time around. But anything else? Speed of wind to strike first. That doesn't sound that useful, but I don't know. Maybe it will be. What else can Himi do now? Not a lot. Is it time to send Himi to back up because she can't really do much? I think it might be. Unless she has Genie that I need, but I think most of hers are in cooldown, yes. Oh, I've got 3 dead party members. Alright. Sveta, your turn. Let's see what Sveta can do. Sveta has apparently a bunch of Jupiter Genie, which are ready to go. So I think we'll go and use Eclipse just because Eclipse looks cool. Should I use Thor? Thor is probably going to do more damage. Alright. Let's focus it on that one just to get that one off the field first. Boost party attack, blast an enemy with a water spout. See? Alright, you're gonna summon because you don't have very many useful things. Do I want to do that? I don't know. I can't make up my mind. I kind of want to have more Mars Genie ready to go. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Aeolio will summon this turn. Because Tyrell needs to go use Jolt. on my stupid face, because someone decided that it would be a good idea to die this turn. Tyrell will not be using Jolt on my stupid face. Okay. Really inconvenient. So that's going to be not enough to take down that last one. We're going to summon Meteor. This probably will be enough to take down Ogre 4. Yeah. Goodbye, Ogre 4. Massive Swing. Did about half to my 2 remaining party members, but we'll, let's see. Who else has a Revival Genie? I don't know who else has a Revival Genie. Alright, I'm gonna switch out me. I've got a Revival move, but I feel like at this point, that's not going to be very useful if I can't actually, like, use it. Sveta is going to then use... Would it be a good time to... Maybe I should use Koatlaq again, because HP restoration over time seems like a generally good thing to have. Aelio. Reef doesn't have any Mercury Genie that he can use to get me to 4, does he? I don't think he does. Oh, I've got this. I can use a Revive with Near Certainty. Alright, I'll use that one. Whereas Reef... Yeah, Reef doesn't have anything exciting. So... Cybele, I guess. Or Sybil, if you prefer. There goes Sveta. Unfortunate. And Tyrell was not revived. Alright, Cybele. So we're gonna go send a giant, like, Grodel after you or something, which isn't gonna do too much, but it's a... It's a good use of a turn, I think. This got a lot harder. Okay, so that was the Near Certainty Revival Genie that didn't work, right? I think that was the Near Certainty Revival Genie that didn't work. So, Sveta, get out of here. That sounds so mean. Himi. No! Didn't mean to do that. Alright. BRB. Himi doesn't have very many good Genie to use either, but at least she's alive. Which is better than some of my other teammates can say. Okay. Mother Gaia, I guess, out of lack of better options. God, Aelio. Why do you have to be so slow? Let's use Meteor. Reef, please, tell me that in the last turn, a Genie that you can use recharge. No? Not happening? Alright. Reef can go and use Pure Ply on himself, because I think that's the best option here. So a little bit of damage, 10% as much damage as I was doing with those summons. You are going to use a regular attack on Aelio. Probably should have used healing on Aelio, to be honest. Alright, that was a lot. Probably should have used healing on Aelio, to be honest, because I think he can maybe do a little more here, but... Okay, he survived. Let's see, so we're gonna get some Genie back now. Who does that... Does that give me anyone good? Not really. Okay. Himi is gonna summon Thor. Aelio still didn't really get anyone really useful that he can use here, but I'm gonna use Stoke anyway. And Reef. Flint, the most basic Genie. I'm sorry, that makes it sound like I don't like you, Flint. I do like you, Flint. I'm just not really. You're in battle. You're kind of outclassed at this point in the game. No offense. It just happens. You've been, you know, relegated to the minor leagues of Genie. Anyway, 2016 damage on a not very effective hit. I'll take it. I guess that's after my elemental power has gone up a couple of times. So Aelio's dead. Great. Nereid. Yet another pretty girl summon. 844 on a neutral hit. Okay. Himi's dead. And is that kind of it? Can I bring in anyone and maybe at least get like a useful thing that I can summon? No? Alright, well, this is such a last-ditch effort, but Karis's dead body gives me enough Mars Genie to summon Meteor again. And I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. Yeah, okay. That was better than last time. I'm pretty sure that was my best attempt yet. Alright, so this is take 5? I've actually started to lose track. So I've done some of that level grinding thing that I often don't like to do. I was level 46-ish. My entire party is now level 50-ish. And I'm hoping that... I'm sure that if I really sat down and thought about Genie and stuff, I'd be able to make a little more headway. But I also... I feel like I was just barely, like... My intuition, anyway, was telling me that I was just barely starting to, like, die to hits that might not have killed me if I had 10 or 20 more points of health across the party. So I'm gonna go and jump right back into this for a n+1th time, and we're going to see if I can do any better than I did the last couple of times. Alright, it is down to Ogre Titans 4 and 5. Unfortunately, Hemi went down about 10 seconds ago, which is not ideal. I've saved all of my summons. I'm gonna start with Coatlicue. We're going to try and take down, let's see, Meteor on Ogre Titan 4. We're gonna try and take down Ogre Titan 4 as fast as possible. Sveta has a couple of these here Water of Lives. I haven't gone and... Well, there goes that. I haven't gone and bought any Water of Lives, but I have been picking them up from fighting, like, the Shadow Monsters who sometimes just drop them. Let's see, Meteor. If we can, like, really make quick work of the second one here, that would be great. You're gonna get your second attack, and Sveta just barely hangs on. Alright. We're gonna switch out Reef's dead body for someone else real fast. Let's go and bring in Tyrell. Actually, no, let's not bring in Tyrell. Let's bring in... Hang on. Does Tyrell have a damage shielding Genie? No. Yes. Tyrell is gonna use that. Aeolio is going to use... Actually, should Aeolio use another one of the summons? I'm gonna have Aeolio use Meteor again real fast, and then I'm gonna buff my attack, because I'd really like to get Ogre Titan 4 out of the picture. Sveta, who has my favorite name to say in this whole lineup here, is going to use Judgment, and that's gonna also hopefully take care of Ogre Titan 4. And Hemi is fastest. Hemi is going to use Potent Cure on Sveta because Sveta needs it. Alright. So Chasm is going to hopefully mean that I don't take a lot of damage in this round. We are going to do that. You're going to take a massive swing, which is not going to do a lot. Wow. Alright. Some of these damage reductions are definitely better than others. We're going to use Judgment, and that's going to not take down Ogre Titan 4 yet. Alright. Good show, guys. So we're going to bring in Meteor. And that's also not going to take care of that one. Alright, wow. That's it for that turn. Tyrell, should I switch out Tyrell? I'm going to bring Reef back, even though he's a dead body. I'm going to have Hemi try and heal him. Aeolio on this turn is going to use Protect. Sveta on this turn is going to use Q. And Hemi on this turn is going to use Revive. Alright. So that I thought I healed the wrong one for a minute, but no. Reef is going to take a lot of damage to the face just immediately. Coatlicue is going to do a little bit of healing, and that's going to give us some HP over time, which I like. I've been using like... Oh good, you get to do that before the second move. I've been using a few more of these status moves as we've gone in this fight, and it seems to be working out alright. Reef unfortunately didn't make it there, so his defense buff is going to be nullified. Let's see. Aeolio, what do I want to do? I'm starting to want to just use Fire Genie again. Alright, you know what? Reef coming back didn't really do much for me. He still has a couple Genie ready to go, though, doesn't he? Alright, fine. We'll leave Reef's dead body there just for another minute so that I can make use of his Genie. The Genie in question... Maybe that'll do a lot of damage, I don't know. The Genie in question, I'm gonna summon Thor, because even though it's a resisted hit for these guys, it does seem to do a lot of damage, all the same, which is what I want. Alright, 1,000 damage there. Wind power is going up for no reason. Alright, that was about half of Aeolio's total HP. Thor again. It's gonna do, I guess, another 1,000 or so, a little more. 1,700. Alright, Ogre Titanfall went down, so at least that one's out of the picture. And Wrath did something, I guess. Alright, good job, team. You survived this one, except for Reef, because not surviving things has been Reef's modus operandi for most of this game so far. Well, most of this battle, anyway. He has done a lot of dying. If I bring Tyrell back in, Tyrell's going to have a bunch of Fire Genie that he can use. No, he doesn't, apparently. Who has my Fire Genie, then? I know I haven't used that many summons so far. Is it, does Karis have my Fire Genie? Hang on. By the way, if you hit the select button, I don't believe I've called this out, but I did at some point notice that if you hit the select button, Karis has 3 Fire Genie. Amidi has 4, so maybe I should bring Amidi in. I don't have any. Tyrell has 2. Okay. I'll bring Amidi in then. Yeah, if you hit the select button, you can see a summary of who's in backup, which I probably should have noticed before this point in the game, but I didn't. So, woe is me. Let's see. What does Amidi have? Protective barrier against attacks. That sounds like a good one to do. Aeolio is going to use buff defense again. Sveta. Alright, I don't really want to use most of my I might put Sveta in backup on the next turn. I don't really want to use most of my Genie that Sveta has because they're all wind-based, but we're going to use a Mist Potion, and that's going to hopefully do a little bit of healing should you use another one of those wide swings. And Himi is just a generally helpful person to have because she has, you know, Revive, that sort of thing. Okay. So Amedia's going to use Bark, and that's going to be a damage shield. Pewter isn't going to do much at all. Okay, so you chose not to use your big attack, which I'm actually a little disappointed, because that means that Mist Push was mostly wasted. Let's raise everyone's attack again, and I think Brute Force... Alright, that didn't do much. As I said, we're going to switch Sveta out, because Sveta doesn't really have much to do in this fight at this point. I was mostly having her there, because one, she has Waters of Life, just in case anybody... I wanted anybody to come in. Alright, you have a lot of wind ones, which aren't the most helpful, but we'll get some summons out of that. I mostly had her out front because she can do a little bit of damage, she can heal, and she does have those 7 Waters of Life. But anyway. Immediate. Anyone else? Refresh and restore HP. Speed recovery. Speed and recovery sounds good. Let's speed some recovery. Aeolio, I think now is time for a Meteor here. And Himi is going to do her best to keep Reef alive for more than about 10 seconds. Which probably isn't going to work, but... Alright, that's going to cause... Stoke, Geode, and nobody else. Or nobody else had Genie and cooldown. Wow, Amidi! God! Holy crap, okay. Amidi, you're as bad as Reef. I thought Amidi was a little more defensive. But anyway, Brute Force... Himi died. Okay. Well, Reef is still standing, but some of my other party members are not. Aeolio. For some reason, I keep thinking Aeolio has a Genie, which will do a damage reduction, but apparently he doesn't. Let's see if I can bring Amidi back. And Sveta is going to make use of some of these Waters of Life here. Alright. Not my best turn. I believe Karis also has a damage reduction Genie, which I should probably use. Alright. Don't hit Himi, please. Amidi was revived. Good. Massive swing. And Himi. Okay. Fine. So, Aeolio stopped recovering hit points. Sveta stopped recovering hit points. That was the leftovers from Koatliki, wasn't it? And Ogre Titan 5 does have some healing there. I think all of them do. They have more HP the farther up the chain you go. They have more recovery the farther up the chain you go. I'm gonna bring in Karis, and Karis is going to use Shell, aptly named. Aeolio is going to use... I also thought he had a second healing genie for some reason, but he doesn't. Alright, Aeolio is going to use Meteor, and Sveta is going to use Water of Life. We've got 4 of those left. Let's make them count. Okay. I should be, everyone except for Himi should be okay on the not dying front, on this turn. So you're going to use Brute Force. Good. That was a single target. Good. Meteor is going to squash you like a fairly large bug. 2,700 damage. Bad. And, did you dodge that one? That looked like it was bound for Himi, but she didn't take any damage. Alright. Let's see. Does Sveta have another genie that can... Oh, Sveta has, Buckle, which I also wanted to use. So let's go switch out... Let's go switch out Sveta for, I think, Tyrell also has a couple things that I might want. Karis is going to use Buckle. Aeolio is going to use... Yeah, his Fire-type genie are mostly back now. Let's use Cybele over here. Tyrell... Alright, you have a Revival one. Oh, Tyrell has multiple Revival genie. That's not going to do anything, but I'll use it anyway. And Himi can use... Stun a foe with a Sudden Force. I doubt I'm going to get anything useful out of that. No. Alright, it did some damage. So there goes the defense. Massive Swing is going to not kill anybody, but your second attack is still incoming. Wait, did I actually get to wrap you in Delusion? I did. What's that gonna do? Am I actually gonna... No, alright. Worth a try. Alright, Aeolio finally went down. What does the Delusion do? Alright, I have a bunch of Water of Lives, and sometimes I even get to use them. So Sveta is gonna come in and do her thing. Tyrell. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should use one of Tyrell's. Alright. I feel like this isn't the optimal play, but usually revives someone. We can revive Karis, maybe. Himi, do you have any recovery? Any healing? Long story short, she does not. I've got some healing items. I've also got some healing synergy, but let's use some items just for something different. Alright, Brute Force. Ow, there goes Tyrell. Massive Swing. Massive Swing does about half my HP to my whole party, it seems. Alright, we're gonna have to go and switch people out now. Alright, I'm gonna come in and use Boreas. And that's mainly because I have Genie at the ready and I'd like to use them. And Himi is going to use... Oh, she lost access to revive. Because, alright, Himi is gonna try and keep herself alive. She lost access to revive because of Genie configuration changing. Alright, I'm gonna have to, please use Massive Swing again on the next turn, because it won't do enough to kill anyone, but your other big attack will. Alright, 1,600 damage, Brute Force, that took Himi down. Okay, I need Sveta badly, I think. She's the only one who's alive who has the ability to revive anybody. We'll use Cybele. You're down to 3 Waters of Life. Alright, so Himi was able to get back. Sveta's in trouble, but you can't kill both of them, so at least there's that. Cybele is going to do 1356. And alright. That was a bit of a bloodbath. But fortunately, at least both Sveta and Himi didn't die. They almost did, but not quite. Alright, so Reef also has some Genie ready to go. I'm going to summon Neptune again. Reef is going to... No, I thought Reef had a healing move. Maybe I won't summon Neptune then. Maybe I'll use... Oh, I've got Revive, but I don't have enough PP to use it. That sucks. I'll use a Nut then. Alright, let's use a Nut. This is a little bit silly. Actually, wait. Alright, Reef has a Genie which will do some healing things, so I'm gonna use that on me. And Himi has a move called Let's Try and Stay Alive for about 10 seconds. And let's see if this turn works out. Alright, that's about half of my HP. And a potion is gonna fully restore Himi. Massive Swing. Ow. Target Himi with another Massive Swing. That's like my best option here. Brute Force. Ow. Alright. Do I want to switch anyone else out? Amidi? Alright, Amidi also doesn't have any healing moves. Interesting. Amidi has 13 Water of Lives. Alright, good god. Let's use that then. And Reef. I still want to summon some things. Himi. Did you get any Genie back that you would need for a healing move? No. Alright, Amidi has Flower, Refresh Allies and Restore HP, which sounds good. Reef has... no synergy, but Reef does have... Come on, Reef, work with me. Alright, fine. Reef has... I'm going to... Wait. I'm going to use Judgment, because when I cut away, I noticed that Himi has Pewter, which isn't like an amazing... Well, she has a couple of Earth Genie. None of these are amazing Genie that I'm really dying to use, but... We're going to have a fourth Venus Genie ready to go, and some healing, and we're going to use Judgment, and this is going to do 1654. Okay, that's decent. Massive Swing killed Reef. Everything kills Reef. That doesn't really count. Killed Himi. Ow. Is anyone else still alive? No, no one else is still alive. This could be, boy. My options are not vast. Alright, that was a bad play. Alright, Massive Swing survived. And I can't believe you survived both of those. I cannot believe you survived both of those. Alright. I got really lucky on that. What Genie do I have? Revive a downed ally without fail. Well, it doesn't really matter if I use that or Water of Life, but I'm going to actually use the Water of Life so that I don't have my stats go slightly down on the next turn. Himi, do you have any healing synergy left? No. Do you have any healing Genie left? No. I should have equally distributed my Waters of Life before starting this fight. Alright. Himi can summon... I don't know, summon anyone. Doesn't really matter who. Let's just see if I can do enough damage to power through this. 1,000 damage? We did it! Alright, wow! I thought I was gonna have to do this for like, what are we up to, a 7th time? 58,800 experience points. I hope I didn't blow up my audio when I shouted there. 5,000 coins, doesn't really matter. Wow. Okay. Let's never have to do that again. What is this? Some kind of runic script. See if that book will translate for you. Daedalus. That sounds important. To summon Daedalus, you'll need the following Genie on standby: 3 Venus, 4 Mars, and it doesn't give me a summary of what it does. Alright, you know what? Before we do anything else... Yeah, back in town, I'm going to revive everybody who needs reviving. I revived a few people, just immediately before I left, but I didn't have enough PP to revive my whole team. Let's take some measures to make my entire party not dead before we proceed, shall we? Alright. And I think with my entire party back the way that I like it, we're gonna end things off here. So, my name is Dragonite. This has been Golden Sun Dark Dawn. Next time, we're going to be looking for some other super bosses. Hopefully they will go a little bit better than this one did. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you all later.